Welcome to part 15 of In the Beginning and in the End. This is February the 8th, 2025 by Man's calendar, and it is my hope that by the time that we finish this segment that you understand more about the beginning, that you may then understand more about the end. And let's jump on back in here to Genesis 12, verse 8. And I do tell you, if there's any bunch of these weird names in here, begats or anything like that, I will be using my little cheat method, and the little audio thing will be reading that for me. So, I ask you to bear with me through this. All right, verse 8. And he removed from there to a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east, or Haya on the east. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Or it might be pronounced Hay on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. And there was a famine in the land. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said to Sarah, his wife, or Sarai, rather, Sarai, his wife, Behold, now I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see you, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me. But they will save you alive. Say, I pray you, you are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and my soul shall live because of you. He asked his wife to lie for him. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, that the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her, and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house, and entreated Abram, and he treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen, and he asses, and men servants, and maid servants, and she asses and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this that you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why said you, 'She is my sister,' so I might have taken her to me a wife? Now therefore, behold, your wife, take her and go your way." And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journey. He went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also, which went with Abram, and flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelled then in the land. And Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no strife, I pray you, between me and you, and between my herdsmen and your herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray you, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you depart to the to the right, then I will go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you come to Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said to Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, "Lift up now your eyes and look from the place where you are northward and southward and eastward, and go westward. For all the land which you see, to you will I give it, and to your seed forever. Forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also be numbered. Can you number the sands of the sea? Can you number the dust of the earth? That's what they're trying to do, right? That's why everyone's been issued a number from their birth now. Because now they try to number the children, right? Anyways, back into this. Verse 16, I'm going to recap. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it to you. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, I think so that's pronounced, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar to the Lord. And it came to pass in the days of ooh, here we go again with some of these weird names. This is chapter 14. We're going to do a cheat. Okay, now we're going to try to do this little bit of a cheat here.
Genesis 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the salt sea. 12 years they
12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. Hold on, I'm just going to let him do some more of this.
They served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year came Chedorlaomer, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims in Ashtaroth Karnaim, and the Zazims in Ham, and the Emims in Shaveh Kerathaim, and the Horites in their Mount Seir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, that dwelt in Hazazon Tamar. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same as Zoar, and they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim, with Chedorlaomer the king of Elam, and with Tidal king of nations, and Amraphel king of Shinar, and Arioch king of Elasar, 4 kings with 5. And the vale of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and fell there, and they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their victuals, and went their way. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped, and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued
Now here Abram is going after, so we're going to go into the next part and we're going to finish this chapter out. And I will recap a little bit using the cheat to recap a little bit. And I'll see you in the next part.